Good morning. I think today is the 13th. I know it's Wednesday of May. I know yesterday was kind of a fun thing. I got very few death threats from it, so that's great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you may just want to go to the YouTube channel and see what I was mentioning. But I want to talk about something serious. Look, I don't care what political side you're on, left, right. I don't. I mean, I really don't. Of course, my side, whatever my side is always correct. Hey, guys. But this is not a political thing. Once I'm a preacher, and once people start using the Bible to do something that is, ready, unbiblical, I've got a problem with it. And I know how many times, we get disgusted with news reporters that will ask a politician, hey, what is today? And they'll say Tuesday. And the next day they'll say to the same politician, what would you say today is? And they'll say Wednesday. They go, you said yesterday it was Tuesday and it's Wednesday. Why do you keep flip-flopping? Why do you change your mind? Or, just something silly like that. But the problem right now is that people are using the Bible for rebellion. That's wicked. Again, I might lose some friends here. I hope not. I hope you listen to me. Just like I've been listening to you and you haven't lost me as a friend. But some people, say we're losing, our freedom. I disagree with that. There may be some overtones. Maybe some politicians are pushing things a little bit too hard. Maybe. But when somebody says, when they're closing the church, we have to reopen it anyways, because who are we going to obey? God or man? Boy, that sure does sound religious, doesn't it? That sure does sound like a good biblical stand. But it's not. It is fake news. It is the absolute choosing to ignore context. Don't we get mad when the news media absolutely rejects context? See, here's the thing. When that verse was said, they told Peter, they told the other disciples, stop preaching. You can't preach Jesus. We'll throw you in jail for preaching Jesus. See, the persecution was on Jesus. The persecution was on Christianity. And look, if there's a persecution because of that, if we're told, look, Christianity is illegal, Christianity is now against the law, well, we have to obey God and not man. But if the law tells people in general, you have to refrain from these activities, and please don't give me Walmart or Asda as an example. Please don't, because you haven't thought it through. But when you're talking about, you may say, look, Christianity is just as legal as it has ever been. We want churches to meet just right now. The best thing that we can think is that this will help spread an infection. So group meetings, we just can't do it. Now, you may feel it's hypocritical in other things, but they're just not pointing out the church. They're pointing out other things. And what I'm trying to say is they haven't made Christianity illegal. They haven't made church illegal. They haven't made online meeting illegal. When these verses were written, those things would have been illegal. Of course, there wasn't online meetings. That's why I said they would have. Christianity was illegal. You can still, they haven't said, okay, you can worship this deity, but not the Christian God. Do you see why our stance of trying to use the Bible to try to say that the government is taking away our biblical demand to preach the gospel is a deception? folks, please don't be deceived. Look, you can say, I want to stand for liberty, or you can say, I think people have done too much on this. That's fine. But as soon as you try to make a Bible verse out of this, I'm just telling you, you have now distorted the Bible. You have now distorted and hurt the very thing you claim to love and you claim to use. I love you guys. I hope we can still be friends. I'm saying this only because I absolutely love you. And you know what? We ought to obey God rather than man. God commands us in these situations to submit to our government, to submit to our authority, because we're not being persecuted for the gospel's sake. We're simply being asked to keep people safe. And maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong in the way that happens. We can debate that. But that's the reason. Love you guys. God bless.